information about it. But we all know the Warriors organization does amazing things for our veterans that have given so much for our country over the years and fought for all the liberties that we have. And what the SierraDelta.com site will show you is what one of their main initiatives now is try and get service dogs to all these veterans out there that would benefit so greatly. Some of them because they need the support and the help because physically they've been obviously put in very compromised situations. And a lot of times, though, the companionship these service dogs provide is exactly what the veteran needs, just to have not only a dog to take care of them and help them, but also the feeling of being needed by the dog. You know, your companion needs you as well. And a lot of times these veterans are put in situations where they feel like they're forgotten or they don't have a purpose. And the service dog that they're provided ends up really making a huge difference in their lives. So I think it's a great initiative. They want to try to get dogs to every veteran out there that would like to have a dog, either whether they need one or whether they just want one. It's Delta.
And Steve, I'm hoping we didn't lose you via the phone just yet. But I wanted to ask, is there a particular reason why you got involved with the Wounded Warrior? Because generally, and I ask people this question, I don't know whether or not you may have had a family that was a warrior or that was in the military that that suffered an incident, or was it just something that was near and dear to your heart that got you involved?
Well, my dad was in the Navy, so he was a veteran. He's no longer with us, but he never did any combat duty. But the military was always very important to him and always a part of his life, and so therefore a part of his family's life. And he was a proud naval veteran. But the reason I got involved was just because I've always been a real big supporter of our military. I've had a chance over the years through my college experience at Notre Dame and then my 17 years in the NFL to meet a lot of different veterans in a lot of different scenarios. And I've always just had such tremendous respect for the people that have not only the desire and the passion to go out and serve our country, but to have the guts to actually back it up and go out and do it. And without any hesitation, put themselves in those situations that we all know we probably wouldn't have the courage to do it. So I've always been very appreciative and very willing to get involved and try and support them in any way possible. That's really been my motivation.
And this is the Salute to Service Stroll, Tampa's tribute to heroes. You can come if you're in the Tampa area. It is Saturday morning, February the 6th at 9 o'clock a.m. It's next to the Ulili restaurant at Tampa's Riverwalk, 1810 North Highland Avenue. It is to raise awareness for the need to provide more service dogs for veterans. For more information, as Steve mentioned before, please go to SierraDelta.com. This tribute is free to the public, so you all are welcome to come down. Of course, socially distance, wear a mask is one of the things. Is a couple of things that they ask you to do. Steve, if you got time, I'd like to look at Sunday's game with you. And these two teams matched up in week number 12. Kansas City jumped out to an early 17-0 lead, held on to win against Tampa Bay 27-24. Second time around, what do you see in this matchup between these two teams?
Well, it's going to be a great matchup. The quarterback matchup is one for the ages, literally and figuratively. The oldest quarterback to ever play in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady, going against the guy who's attempting to become the youngest quarterback to ever win 2 Super Bowls. So that in and of itself is an incredible story. Tom Brady, arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. I don't even know if you can argue it anymore. And then Patrick Mahomes, who seems to be the heir apparent, the new generation, new breed, who's seems to be setting records every time he goes out on the football field. So that part of it kind of speaks for itself. But I do believe it's going to be an incredible matchup for a lot of different reasons. Both teams are very, very loaded offensively with talent. Both teams have defenses that are playing very well. I think the big question going into this game is Tampa Bay's defense really has been playing well, and they were able to get a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers last week or 2 weeks ago in the NFC Championship. And the matchup that they have, both Kansas City offensive tackles are backups. The two starting offensive tackles are not going to play in this game. That really is going to be an interesting matchup to watch because, on paper and when you think about the matchup, it's got to favor Tampa Bay because they've been playing at that level. And Patrick Mahomes with his foot injury, he's not as mobile as he would normally be, and so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. The key component, I think, of that, though, is Andy Reid has always been very, very good at coming out 5 weeks and figuring out different strategies and ways to attack his opponent. And so I wouldn't put it past him to be able to find a way to cover up on that area where they're maybe a little bit deficient on the offensive line and give Patrick Mahomes the time he needs to get back there and get into his offense and get the ball to those talented players, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, all those guys. So that's going to be the matchup I'm really going to be watching the most. Can Kansas City give Mahomes the time he needs to get the ball distributed among those talented players out there?
Steve, I know you played 17, 18 years in the league. I know you won a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. How would Steve Beuerlein fare with weapons when you've got a Tyreek Hill, a Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Sammy Watkins? How would Steve Beuerlein perform with this offense?
Well, of course, I would have won a bunch of Super Bowls with that offense. I mean, that's what we all have to think, right?
Yeah.
I would have loved to have had an opportunity to play under Andy Reid in an offense like that. Yeah. But that is not to minimize the special qualities and the special abilities that Patrick Mahomes has. We all can sit back and say, boy, it'd be great to have all those weapons. But honestly, he's the maestro back there. He's the one that makes it happen. And he's the kind of quarterback that you could plug him in anywhere, and he's going to elevate the level of that team just because he is who he is. And not only does he have the physical skills to make plays that very few people can make, but he also has the leadership and the confidence and the IQ and the just overall demeanor to be a guy that always seems to make the right plays and seems to make them at the key points in ball games. He's proven that in a very short period of time, and as long as he can stay healthy, it'll be an incredible journey for him. There's no doubt about it.
Steve, now I would be remiss if I let you get out of here without giving us a prediction for the game Sunday.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have really gotten sick of Tom Brady making me look stupid.
Not you too. Not you too.
I've picked against Tom Brady since week 12 when they were 7-5, and all he's done is gone undefeated since then. And now he's playing for 7th Super Bowl. I really have a hard time going against him, but I'm going to give him a chance to make me look stupid one more time. I really think Kansas City is going to win this ball game, but nothing would surprise me coming from Tom Brady because he's just completely turned back Father Time and continues to prove to everybody that he is the greatest of all time. So nothing would surprise me.
Steve, look, man, you almost gave me a heart attack live on the air with the way you was going with that. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so very much. Let everybody know the website once again where they can go to find out more about the Wounded Warriors and what you all have going on this weekend.
Yes, SierraDelta.com is the website to go to. It gives you all the information. It talks about the walk tomorrow, Saturday, February 6th in Tampa. And it's going to be a beautiful day, a beautiful event out there. Come on out, be smart, but support the Wounded Warriors program because they've given so much for us. The least we can do is give a little bit back in this way.
All right, Steve, really appreciate your time. This has been Darren Smith with Mr. Steve Beuerlein on Radio Row. We'll be back after this timeout.